and completely okay. And now we have to move to the different class, and that will be the most important class or most important activity called assistant activity. Okay, and within this assistant activity, what we will do is to first of all let me make the space for declaring objects here. It's private let init variable binding, and now activity assistant binding. Okay, now the another one, late initialization variable, and it is view model. Actually these are objects, and now there is one more, and it is text to speech. Okay, as we are going to use getting answer in text and then converting it to speech. Okay, then speech to speech recognizer. Okay, so it is RECO recognition. Let me search it out if it appears in the suggestion, and it is recognizer, and let me give it as speech recognizer. Okay, done. And now there is one more another, and it is recognizer interface. Okay, it is intent, sorry, it is recognizer intent, and it should be of intent type. Okay, then another thing is keeper, and it is of string. Okay, so this is the biggest activity. The 60% of the coding of this app belongs to this activity only. Not only in terms of this is really important, but it is very crucial one. Okay, so another one is request call. So let me copy it, as I have to make few constant just like that. Then it is send SMS. So here I'm making code for opening the intent and getting into it the activity result. So I'm making each request and giving it as a code. Okay, then there will be easiness to me if I compare all these things when passing the value, either this value equals to that or not. That's why these constants are needed. Okay, and you can take up as it your own choice of ordering, like you want to give like 11 to 17, you can give. I'm just giving 1 to 7 or 1 to 8 and furthermore. So it is the capture photo. Okay, for capturing a photo, as this app is having various features like sending SMS, reading SMS, sharing a file, sharing a text file, reading contacts, and making a call, capturing a photo, all these kind of things. Now request code select doc. Okay, and it is integer type equals to 100. Okay, again the request, then underscore, then enable underscore Bluetooth, and it is giving us BT as the short name. Okay, now we have to create few more objects here, the object declaration actually. Okay, so Bluetooth adapter, and then it should be Bluetooth adapter here, and equals to Bluetooth dot get default adapter. Okay, and now rate initialization variable camera manager, and it is of type like camera manager itself. So here I will be typing camera manager. Okay, Now the late initialization variable clipboard manager. Like this app is also having the feature, like if you have copied some text from somewhere, like you have copied one WhatsApp message, then this uh, app can show you that message also, that what you have copied. Okay, so that's why clipboard manager. So now the late init ringtone, you can set up the ringtone, you can play the ringtone, you can stop the ringtone. I think setting the ringtone is a upcoming feature, but playing and stopping is enabled within this application. Okay, so now image index and given value to 0, then image URI, then URI. URI is to get the exact location of the image that you have captured with the help of this app. Like you have said, click a photo, then this app will open a camera and can get the photo. Okay, now this one was very helpful, open weather map helper. So we need an API for this. So it is open weather API, like it can tell you the weather of various places. Like you want to know the weather of Mumbai, then you will be just asking Mumbai weather, then will tell you everything. Now the image directory environment.cat external storage state, and the value as given environment dot then directory pictures. Okay, then converting it to string as the address of the directory. Okay, so now what we have to do here, like to give suppress, and we have to pass something within this as DEPRE depreciation. Okay, so the get external storage state is depreciated, that's why we have to give this depreciation suppress lint. Okay, and now there is a variable or objects here also, so we have to give them here also. So let me just remove this. Okay, and here again suppress. Okay, so the variables or the objects are created right now, and a few more will be created when they are needed. Okay, so making this is clickable view accessibility, and then you have to change this first of all there is data binding feature is enabled, as you can see that. And now let me the string resources, like we are using open weather API, so we have to give the key to that API also. So here we have to define, it's just like that global variable declaration, but in the form of XML. Okay, so first of all, first message, and what is the first message? Like hello, how are you? You can type how can I help you? Okay, so just don't see that spellings, I have written that I 2 times. Okay, now the second message should be what is like, can you tell me something? Okay, and now again open weather API, so this is what I'm talking about. Okay, now it's key that we have to taken from the web browser, so we will have to go to its website and get that key by making our account there. Okay, first of all let me remove this, and now I am here, you can see that. So we have to go to their website. So first let me go to their website. You can see that their website name is openweather.org, and then I have created an account. Create a new account, click on sign in, and then you can see that option, create new account, and here I will be giving the account details like this, and then the password. So here repeating the password, and then you have to that click on all these things like you are above 16, agree with privacy policy, and all these kind of things, all these consent that they want for using their API, you have to give them. Okay, now selecting this cross box is not a piece of cake actually, but okay. Password confirmation doesn't match, sorry about that. Let me give it again. Okay, so this time I'm little careful while giving the passwords. Now just cross check all these things, and then again that dialog box will appear. Bridges, god. Okay, verify, create account. The account is created, and right now I will be searching for the APIs. So they have sent an SMS, sorry, email. Okay, so here is the key, API key. You have to copy this. Don't need to check out that email that you have received, or you can confirm it. So here I have pasted that key. Okay, so now go back to our, here also we have made a mistake actually. So let me give commas to all, and this make it these kind of brackets instead of curly braces. So now you can see that this is error free. So this class is also error free right now, and you can see that there is no error. And I will be just going to our assistant activity on which we were working. Okay, so I am on this activity right now, as you can see that, and now I'm scrolling. So here you just have to get this import. So it is imported, and right now I am within this method called onCreate method of assistant activity. And now what I have to do is to remove this set content view, as we are using data binding. So we have to just give all these things, and we are also using the animations actually. So due to animations we have to remove that thing also, but data binding is very important feature if you have worked on Android earlier. So here data binding utility dot set content view, then this, and then r.layout dot activity assistant. Okay, now the variable application. Okay, so don't confuse the variable with the objects. Okay, sometimes I say object and sometimes I say variables. Actually if you understand these concepts, so you get my point, like what I want to say. Okay, so now assistant DAO. Okay, so I want to say that variables are the literals that we assign. Okay, but the object are also kind of variables. Okay, their data type is a class that we have customarily defined. So now I have given that data source, then view model. I have just get that instance and making call to that view model factory, passing the data source. And what is our data source is database dot get assistant. And now right now I'm working on view model providers, so getting it, and what we want to get assistant view model. then class Java. Okay, and here what we have to do is to bind dot recycler view and then adapter and then equals to adapter. Okay, so here you can see that there is one error because we don't declare that adapter yet, so I have to declare it first of all. So it is adapter and type equals to assistant adapter. Right now it is correct. Okay, and furthermore what we have to do is assistant model dot messages dot observe this, and why we are doing all these things. It is just like if you have worked on the chat applications, like you have seen when your friend messages on your WhatsApp, then it's come at that instance, the message come in a flick. This is what we are getting from that observe, like we are noticing if any value is coming, then bind that value to our screen through data binding, that mutable live data that we have done earlier in the previous class. Okay, and now saved instance equals to null, then bind that constraint layout visibility, and it should be set visibility. Okay, so write set visibility instead of visibility, but it is not present in this suggestion list, so don't worry about it. It can show you error also, but don't worry about it. So let me get that visibility here. Okay, so invisible, so here you can see that visibility is also not kind, so we have to write set visibility. Okay, and in set visibility, S is small and B is capital, so make that happen. Okay, and now what we have to do is view tree observer. Okay, like a tree of messages or commands, question and answers. So from a chat like application forms. So here we are doing the same, and now you can see that it is get tree observer by constraint. Again here, now what we have to do is if view tree observer is alive, if there is some data, then what will happen? View tree observer dot add on global layout listener. Okay, not focus one, and change the brackets from curly to this type, then object, and object is on global layout listener interface. Okay, again let me see if there is any glitch between this object, but not, so just put out these curly braces, but you can see that there is this type of error. Okay, don't worry about these errors. I'm just verifying that if I made any wrong mistake here, then I can correct it. So first of all, let me get that object from anonymous class, and then here I'm doing the same thing but from a different league. Okay, so it doesn't make anything bad. And now here we have to put what we have to put, like we have to implement a method here. So implementing a method like override and then write function on global and layout and passing nothing to it. Okay, and here circular animation, so circular reveal activity. Okay, so what is this circular reveal activity? This is a animation, like your screen will open in a circular activity. Okay, like a circle will appear, just like the various apps. You can see that while you click on that fab icon, then it just blown up in circular motions. Okay, so here it is, remove, and there is errors. Okay, so let me correct those errors firstly. So here we have to put this, okay, curly brace, and then we have to see that how many curly braces are at the end. Okay, so just do as I am doing. If you are making mistakes, then you can pause the video and correct it. Don't make mistakes about these braces, like the parentheses are required but you are using the curly braces. These type of errors are hard to recognize. Okay, then put this. I'm checking the braces. Okay, now we have to make that function also, so that's a custom function, that's why it's showing error. Okay, so now let me come into the spaceable area so that I can make the code visible to you. Okay, so now camera manager, and what does this camera manager will do? So camera manager equals to what? Like camera get system services. Camera is come under the system services. Get system services camera service, then as camera manager. Okay, then there is a try block. So what we have to do within that try block, like camera ID. And what's the camera ID? So camera manager dot camera ID list, and here you have to pass the index. So index means like there is 0 and 1. So 0 for back camera and 1 for front camera. So here you have to understand these things also, that how camera works internally. Okay, just a case of 0 and 1. And now we have to catch that exception, so using that Java library exception. Okay, I know it's Kotlin, but we can use some Java features also. Okay, so now making some space, large space here, as we have to do work on every feature, like clipboard manager. Like if you have copied something, copied a message, then it is in clipboard manager, so it is also a system service. Then ringtone is another thing, that ringtone manager, and then get ringtone, passing the application context, and then ringtone manager dot get default URI. Okay, and then passing the ringtone manager dot type, then ringtone. Okay, perfect. And now it is helper. So helper was for that weather API that we have taken from the internet. Okay, so get that API key, so just passing the key here. And now text to speech, so text to speech, passing this as the context, and then status and this is lambda 1. Okay, so there is if condition status double equals to text to speech dot success, then there is result and having type integer, then text to speech dot set language, so it is from the local library local dot English. Okay, again if condition result equals to text to speech, then language missing data, and we are working on the error that may arise. So language missing data and language not supported. If there's kind of problem, then what we have to do is to just get it into that log.e, and for log we have to make few variable or objects here. Okay, so here we are making them private while log tts and giving its value as tts. So why we are making them? These are required for getting the tag for that logcat, so that you can easily find out whether it worked or not. That's why I'm creating those tags here. Okay, so log keeper, and now I am here within this if condition, and here we are going to use them. So how will we using them? Like alt plus enter dot e, and then log tts, and then language not then supported. Okay, if tts is the tag, then this message will appear. Okay, and now the another one, it will also come under log tts tag, that language supported. Okay, so just passing the log tag within that verbose of logcat manager, then you will be able to find that whether it is working or not. Okay, that's a different thing. You don't need that. Okay, it is for developers only. And now this is initialization fail, the upper if else. Okay, that was inner if else. And now what I have to do is speech recognizer. So speech recognizer dot create speech recognizer, passing this as the context for this, then speech recognizer intent, then here we have intent, and we have to pass recognizer intent dot action, and action recognize speech. Okay, now recognize intent dot put extra, and what we have to take in within this put extra, then recognizer intent dot extra language. Okay, so and then extra language model actually. Okay, and after this we have to pass this recognizer intent dot language model freeform. Okay, so then again recognizer intent and put extra, then recognizer intent dot extra languages. Okay, so what are we doing? All these things like a speech recognizer, then intent, and all these kind of thing. Actually this will start that speech recognizer with all these functionalities that we are passing in extra to it, and it will open that action, that particular action. Okay, now we are setting that recognizer listener. So it is recognizer listener and its object, and now we have to implement some method. Just click on that red bulb and select all of them, click OK. Now one by one we have to implement all these methods. Actually, not all these, some of these are just like an extra. We just have to leave them empty, just like that first one and this second one. You don't even have to remove this to do. Okay, and now that RMS changed, and then we have method like end of speech. We have nothing to do with it. And now this on beginning speech. Okay, so just add the log to it, like how a developer will get this thing, either it is working or not. So passing that tag sr, then start it, and you have to copy this and paste it within that end of speech. So log statements are not for you, you can leave them. Okay, and if you want to implement them, then it's very good. You should also read about log statement, how are these statement helpful to the developers. Okay, so now I'm within this method called onResult. So this is the big method, and what we have to do here, vol data, then bundle, get string array, then this is showing error, so convert this result to bundle. Okay, get string array list, and passing the speech recognizer dot result recognition here, and now the if condition, data is not equals to null. Okay, and here what we have to do is keeper, and this keeper is really important. Okay, so keeper is a type of variable string. Okay, then keeper equals to data at 0. So that data that it will get from the speech recognizer is in the form of an array. So it will get the first statement of that array into keeper. Like you have speak up few statements, so it will get up that first statement. Okay, so you can understand it as a getting the first element from the string array. And now keeper dot contains, and we are checking if this first statement contains this particular word, then what we have to do, this particular statement or sentence, then what we have to do. So if the keeper contains, that means if you have speak thank, then what will device speak? So the device will say, or the assistant app will say, it's my job. Okay, let me know if there is something else. Okay, so you can also manipulate these things, you can change them as per your choice. Okay, so this speak method is yet to be implemented, and if that statement contains welcome, then what will this app speak? Like for what it will ask. If you have said welcome, then it will ask for what. Okay, so now again clear. Okay, so here it will not speak, it will just clear that screen. Okay, just like deleting all the chat at one word. So here I have to make few statements here, just copy them and change them, otherwise I have to write the full line. So this is the shortcut thing that I can do. Okay, so get date, if it is asking for date. Okay, then time, so making that function get time, call that. So all that functions that I'm writing here and showing that red font will be implemented within this video series. Okay, phone call, then it is from the function make a phone call. Okay, again send SMS, then again the method send SMS. These are all customized methods that we have to implement. Read my last SMS. So one method for this also. So what this method will be, it is read SMS, and then again open Gmail. Like if you have said to Google Assistant like open Facebook, open WhatsApp, open Gmail, then it do that work. So this app will also do that work. Like if you want to open that applications commonly used, like if you say open Gmail, then it will open your Gmail. If you say open WhatsApp, it will open your WhatsApp. I have already shown this thing in that demo video. And it is open Facebook. That's why we have added packages in that manifest file in the first video or the second video. And now it is open messages. So what does it will do? Just open messages. Okay, and then copy this line. Actually this is this class will contain at least good amount of code, so you have to keep patience in yourself and just type it as I am typing, or you can take a break. Like you have worked on the app today, then you can do the rest of the work tomorrow. Okay, and if you want to go in one go, then you can go it. If you are having like passion for developing an app or passion for creating your project, so this project is really good. You are creating your assistant, voice assistant. Okay, so now here what that keeper contains, like call, then it should, that my open message will be call. Okay, so it is just call contact. Actually call may be a method within this, that's why I've added contact as a suffix to call. Then here what we have to do, turn on Bluetooth. Like this app can also do these features, like turn on Bluetooth, turn off Bluetooth, and then turn on flash, turn off flash. So all these kind of things will be done by this application. Okay, and now after this, what is this? Turn off Bluetooth. So this method will be turn off Bluetooth. Very good. Okay, and now just remove this thing. Okay, so you know how to copy that old line. It is by pressing Ctrl D. Okay, in Android Studio, or you can just select that, copy that, and paste. Okay, so get Bluetooth devices means get all paired devices, so it is get all paired device method. Okay, and now again I have to check for turn on flash. that camera light. If you want to on it, then there will be method for it. Turn on flash, and respectively there will be a method for offing it too. So first of all, turn on flash, then turn off flash, and here I have to write it as turn off flash. Okay, so now what this will get copy to clipboard. Like if you want to copy that particular command or the answer, then this app will do that also. Clipboard copy. And now, like, read last copied thing, what you have copied lastly in your phone, then it can read that also. So be careful, don't use abusive words. And now this one is like capture photo. If you want to say that assistant capture a photo, then it will open the camera and get your photo. That's why this is all about, getting commands by voice, then recognizing that speech or voice, and then converting it to the action. This is coding. This is what everything do. Like you have seen washing machine in your home, how it works. Actually, it does have a software. It does have a chip in which that software is installed, and as you give the commands, it follows those. So everything that you have seen around you and are automatic kind of things, then you must understand there must be some coding behind that. Okay, but what differs? The differs is that OS type or language type. These things differs. Otherwise, logic is same for everything related to this tech world. Okay. So now these things like play ringtone, stop ringtone, read me alarm, and then weather. So here doing it for weather, like weather. Now you want to know that weather of particular place, then it will tell you the weather. Okay. And now horoscope. If you believe in zodiac signs, then astrology, then you can use this horoscope. Like if you want to know the horoscope of Aries, then Scorpion and Gemini, then you can do that. Okay. Then medical applications. So these are also, so some of the features that I will be implementing later, I will leave them out. Don't worry about that. It won't affect your application at all. Okay. Now hello. So what will be the reply for hello? And if it is not hello, it is hi, then what will it do? So making the same here, like keeper dot contains hi, then this, and keeper dot contains hey, then what? Okay. So also don't worry about these errors that you are seeing in the right side of the screen. This app will be error free, and I will show you before running the app how I debug all the errors and make every class error free, and you will be seeing that. After that, I will be installing that app in my phone or in that emulator, and will show you the output also. Okay. So now invalid command is there. Like instead of these questions, if you ask other questions also, then it will say invalid command, or you can add that things here for which you give the answers. Okay, so now the keepers string variable is most important one within this activity. So here what we have to do, let me first of all check the parentheses, and now here we have to implement the method. So what type of method here I have to implement is, let me first of all check, as these big applications causes errors. Okay, so here first of all we have already have those methods actually, and I was yet about to declare them again. Don't do this kind of blunders. That's why patience is really important. Okay, and now binding dot assistant action button, then set on touch listener. Like if you have seen that voice button in Google Assistant app, how it converts to another thing. So this is that thing. Motion event will be there. And what does that do? So it is when motion event dot action, and after that what we have to do is open this when is just like if. Okay, it is little different that, but works similar. Okay, so motion event dot action up, and what it will do, speech recognizer dot stop listening. Okay, and then what we are going to have here, motion event dot action down, then what will be there, dot stop. Okay, text to speech dot stop, and then we have speech recognizer dot start listening recognizer intent. Okay, so let me remove the extra space firstly, so that you can see this beautifully, goodly and amazingly. Okay, let me remove all this white space. Okay, and now always check about those closing brackets. This is the important thing. If you don't do this, then you cannot be a good developer. So always follow the standards of working in Android Studio or in other editor. Okay, first of all understand them, and then secondly get the cheat sheet, or the sheet which will getting you the shortcuts of the IDE, so that you can handle it carefully. Now pass false, and then checking for the parentheses here. I think there must be some error with that. Okay, so now what we have to do is check if speech recognition available. Okay, so what does this do is, just let me see first of all something. When you type a long code, then these things occurs. So first we have to implement this method, then we have to call. Okay, so in the previous line we have called the method and now we are implementing it. So is recognition available on that device, then that log. So these logs, by the help of these tags, the user or the developer will get to know that why our app is not working or it is going to crash, all the reasons or any other logical reason also. And now that log d messages. Okay, now the important method is speak, where we will be getting the string text, and after opening this method what we have to do is text to speech, and then we have to call this speak and pass q flash and then null and then nothing. Okay, assistant model dot send message to database, then passing the keeper and text. This will get that particular message sent to be the database to get saved in the database, room database. Okay, that's why you can see that insert is there. Okay, and now function get date. So it is also the important function. Variable calendar, then calendar making the instance of the calendar, and then what we have to do is formatted date. Actually these date and time are also having the formats, so we have to work them and process the things on basis of that. Okay, now it is done. I think that get date. Let me first of all get these things imported from the library, and now what we have to do is getting that instance is good. I'm just checking the code if there's any difficulty or seems to be anything wrong, then so that I can correct it here only. I don't need ID for finding the usage and correcting it, the code. Okay, then trimming it, and actually that date time having the different structure of the format, that's why we have to filter out all these things, and now using these. Okay, again it is get date, then speak the date is, and then getting that variable within this. Okay, it is just same like as JavaScript. If you know little JavaScript, then you will be able to understand the importance of dollar. Okay, now other function. This function name is get time. The previous one was get date, so this function is also important. Calendar dot get instance, and right now here is the format. The time is having some format just like the date, so it is also from that simple date format. Then here we enter the pattern as hour, minute and seconds. That will be the perfect format for showing you the time. Okay, or telling you the time. And now here is the time string, and we are getting it to a string here, and then calendar dot time. Okay, after that here we will be speaking up the time is, and then we'll be getting this variable time. Okay, so this dollar sign, it's just like that. It works in JavaScript, it also works in Kotlin here. Okay, now make a phone call. If you want to make a phone call through command, then this will also work as keeper split, then keeper dot replace, and here we will be replacing it by space to rejects and then replacement by null or nothing. Okay, then delimiter is O and then converting it to a array. Now the number keeper split, then 2 up to, and now like no spaces should be there when you are getting a number. Okay, so here number dot trim and then the iterator will work. Okay, and then dot length, and length should be greater than 0. Okay, so what if this condition got true? Then context compat dot check self permission, then passing the context as this here. And now let us see what is that manifest, then the permission checking. Okay, and manifest permission, but we have imported the wrong manifest, so I've just pressed Ctrl Z or undo to get this thing right, otherwise it will appear in the suggestion box, or it might not show this permission in red fonts. Okay, so what I have to do is to just undo this thing, and now importing the right library here, and now you can see that everything is going good. So phone call underscore phone, then is not equals to package manager dot permission granted. Then if this condition go true, then we have to come back within this if condition, and then activity compat dot request permissions, and here passing the reference as this, again array of, and then manifest, and then permission. Okay, then call phone, and now you have to request that call finally. So here I have to remove this extra space. Here's that code for making the phone call, and now within this if condition, like we will make a dialog that telephone number is not valid or phone number is not valid kind of thing, you can see that, but here we are doing that different else block where we will be starting that we are calling this number. Okay, and that thing phone number is not valid will become in the next else condition. Okay, so passing the URI dot parse then dial. Okay, so this else condition is completed. Afterwards, this is that outer if condition, and here we have to get that thing which I was talking about. We'll be getting that first, and then make test, getting the context as this, and now will be like enter phone number. Here you can write that instead of saying that invalid, like re-enter. Okay, then twist dot short and then show. Okay, so everything is good, there is no problem, the function is completed. And after this function, what we have to do here, we'll making another function named as send SMS. And what this function will do, like we are having that if condition here, and within this if condition we are checking for the self permissions, as we have checked up in the above part for making the phone call. So doing the same for this sending SMS, but the different thing is that permission name is different. Here it is send underscore SMS, you can see that. And now checking it with that package manager, either the permission is granted or not. And now within this if block we are doing that activity compat dot request permission, then passing the context, and then array of manifest dot permission dot then send SMS. Okay, and again send SMS service. Afterwards, if it is not the thing, then what we have to do after this else block, after this if block, okay, we have to make a log here. So log is like keeper, and then we have to make it as message as done 0. Okay, so we are taking a 0 for sending and 1 for receiving. So here it is 1, like if it has done, so it means received. So now keeper 2, done 2. So we are just checking either we are sending or receiving this thing within that if condition or not. Okay, I'm not talking about receiving the SMS, I'm talking about receiving this condition getting true within that if block or not. Okay, and now keeper replaced, keeper dot replace, and we will be replacing it with the same kind of thing that we have done earlier, like space to no space. And then here is number, and why we are using this number, actually delimiter, and now making it to typed array. As you can see that now it is a typed array, and then we have to split it from T. We are using T as the delimiter. Okay, so two typed array and 0 index. Okay, so what we are doing with that number, actually we are getting the number from a array in the good form, like only numbers will be there, no space, no extra things, and then finally the message. Okay, so here we are just making a log like check done. Okay, so you can print the number also, number plus message. Okay, so now like variable my SMS manager, so this will help to send you the message, as it gets you the SMS manager, then get default, and then SMS manager dot send text message, as you are only going to send the text message, no multimedia message is allowed right now. So trim it, then it is less than what if there is a space, then null, then message dot trim. Okay, and then the same thing will be repeating for this also. Okay, then passing null and again null. Okay, so now speak. So what will be speak like message sent successfully. Okay, so message sent that. Okay, or you can like message sent that, you can print the message also. If you want, you can print the number also. So this is almost done. This part is done. Let me remove the extra space first of all, and now we have to make another function here, and this function is for reading the SMS. Okay, so first of all, as common, we have to check the permission from the context compat, and then we'll go within that if condition. So this is somewhat similar part, but only thing is different that each method has its own permission needed. Permission for different methods are different. Like for the previous one it was send SMS, and for this it is read underscore SMS. Okay, so now checking not equals to packaged dot permission granted. Then so here activity compat dot request permission, passing this, and then array of manifest dot permission dot read underscore SMS. Okay, now here you have to pass the service read SMS. Okay, and now let me see what is left out. If there is something left out, yes, there is a else condition also. So here we are giving that else condition while cursor, then content resolver dot query, passing that URI, and then URI to content such that SMS, it is for reading that SMS, to get into your inbox. This is very much needed. Okay, so now let me check for one more. Projection is null. Okay, and then this query is showing that red font because there is something fishy about it. So don't worry about the errors. I will be correcting at the end whenever this code's complete. So first of all, that this will speak up that your last message was, and then cursor dot get string, then passing the column index 12. Okay, so now, so what is this get string from the cursor? Actually, this cursor is a way to reach a place or reach the location within your phone storage. Okay, then it have some column indexes. You can read about it on the internet, on Google. You can search about it and you will be getting more information about it. Very useful. Okay, so now open messages method, and it is like from intent, telephony, then .sms .get default SMS package, then intent, then there is let. Okay, So now start activity here and passing it as IT. Okay, so do you know what is the importance of this let keyword that we have already used? So let takes the object it is invoked upon as the parameter and returns the result of the lambda expression. Okay, so now let me see, there is a method for open Facebook, and it is also similar as that open messages. It will open your messenger, and open Facebook will open that Facebook app. Okay, so I was talking about that let keyword. So let is generally used in lambda expressions. Okay, and now it can be also used that we have some scoping functions. So the context of object is available as an argument in it. Okay, so now one more method is there, and it is for opening WhatsApp. So we are just opening those apps that are installed in our phone by the help of their package name. Okay, you can read about the package names of different popular apps on internet. Like if you want to get the package name of Instagram, you want to add like open Instagram command also, then you can search about its like package name. Then you will be just make change in that package name and copy the whole method and change the method name. You will be getting the Instagram open by the commands. Okay, so now one more method, and it is for opening that Gmail. That's why you can see that I'm doing the same thing, just copying the previous ones, but I'm changing the package name as package name for different apps are different. Okay, so intent dot let and then start activity, passing ID to it. Okay, and then let me see what's their private, and then share a file. If you want to share a file, then this method will help you on doing it. So let me pass that, check for self permissions for this share file, and it is also almost same as that of previous one that we have completed. So I am doing the same thing, you can see that, but the difference is I am doing it for different apps or different permissions. Okay, and array of passing permissions, permission dot, press alt enter to import this, and then read external storage. After that, permission for write storage, like you want write external storage. Also I want to give you one more information, as Android 11 update is there, SDK 30. So there is one more thing in that, you have to use external storage management permission for it. Okay, manage external storage, and these permissions will be not applicable to that updated version. Okay, so it has just you know, the documentation was launched in January 2021. So if you want to read that, then you can go to that Android's website and then you can read the full documentation, then you will get to know. Okay, so here I am building it. So now my intent, and then my intent dot type equals to application and slash PDF. Okay, then start activity for result. So share a file will be applicable for sharing PDFs and documents. Okay, that's why that request code select doc. Okay, now remove this extra space and this extra space also. So this function also completed. Now the another function, share a text message. So within that if condition, this is almost the same thing that we have going through from a long time, checking for permissions. And if you are working on a big project, then you will get to know how these lines become redundant. Then we refactor the code, then get rid of this big codes. Okay, so now package manager, it is done the if condition. We are within this if block and doing the same thing, checking the permissions here. And now doing the same thing that we have gone through earlier, but the only thing is the permission names. Okay, so all you have to just get to know about these permissions, as permission play the crucial role. Okay, so now it is almost done, and what is left out, the else block. Okay, so within this else block, builder, just like the previous one, it will work here also. Strict mode VM policy builder, then strict mode dot select PM policy, then builder dot build. Okay, after that we will be getting that message, keeper dot split, the delimiter is that. Okay, then to typed array, that's okay. Now in the new line it is intent share, and here we are going through that intent. So intent, and now intent action is send. Okay, intent share dot type text or plain. Okay, so for sharing that text file, this function will work. Then intent share dot put extra, what we are going to pass within this, like intent dot extra. And now like message, and then we will be finally starting activity, and then passing the intent dot create chooser, then intent share, like sharing the text file. Whenever you share something, then there is a checkbox, there is a box open, that from which app do you want to share that chooser block will be shown by you from this. And now let me make another function, and this is call contact. Okay, So what we have to do is to do the same thing. So I think I should copy it. Okay, so I have just just copy it from the if block. Just change the permissions, then you will be getting know that what to do. Okay, so just press Ctrl C and then I paste it here. Now I will be just changing the permissions. So change the permission to read contact, and here also to read contact, change it as I am doing, and then you will be able to do that within that else block. Okay, so here it is read contacts. Now the else block, that is a very crucial one. It is that block that we have to type it here. Okay, so first of all, when you have copied such amount of text, then you should always take care about of that curly braces. If there is any error within that curly braces, then this is very wrong thing when you are coding such big lines of code. Okay, so now what I have to do within this else block, it is name and then keeper dot split and passing call within it, then making it to two type array, and later getting it one and then making it to trim so that we can get it clearly. Okay, now let me checking for that iterator here. And the logcat here. Okay, so logcat is there, log.d check name, then try block. If there is any exception occurs, then that catch block will able to catch that particular exception. That's why now that ball cursor content resolver dot query, then contracts dot common data dot kinds, and then phone. Afterwards you have to give that URI, and then here you have to give like array, and let me first of all see array of permissions. Okay, it is also that same like we have done it like various times, so you must know about this else block. Okay, so contracts dot common kind dot phone number, and then common dot common kind dot phone, and then you have to give the type. Okay, so what will be the type? If we see here, let me check. This is that try block, and now here we have to make the catch block also. So here I will be making the catch block, which will be ready for that if block, sorry, that try block. But before that we have to complete this try one. Okay, then after the second parenthesis you have to make display and then name. Okay, so display name is null, like you don't have to make it null, like make it name. And then what you have to do here, you have to pass that character called null, and then what you have to do is, okay, and after this we have to give the cursor, and cursor is to get into your external storage or phone storage. But let me see, yes, that parenthesis was extra. Right now it is still showing error. I don't know why it is showing. Okay, good, not showing now. Then move to first. Okay, if not null, then it will go to the first, then wall number, and number is cursor dot get string, and the column index is 0. Okay, so if number dot trim, and here you have to place that iterator for space, and now find its length is greater than 0. Then what would happen, that means if it is having some spaces, then you have to extract that number from the removing that spaces. So right now checking for the self permissions, not self permissions. Here it is dot get self permission. Okay, yeah, and then this, and now manifest dot permission dot call phone is not equals to package manager dot permission granted, then activity compat dot request permission, passing the context with the array of permission manifest dot permission. Okay, so that it can get into this main class and get that object. Okay, so permission dot, then we have to write call underscore phone, and here request call. Okay, fine. After this if condition, in which we have to make else also for this particular if. Okay, and remember that this else is for inner if. Okay, not for the outer. So dial tell, then we'll passing this dial with that intent. Here passing intent, and then again intent dot action call, and URI dot parse dial. Okay, and this else is complete. Let me see if there's any problem, but there is so much space. I have to remove this. Okay, so this was that outer if, and this else is for outer if, where we just make a toast that enter phone number. Okay, and here toast dot length short and then show. Fine, perfectly fine. Okay, so this else is also gets completed, and now we have to make here the catch block, but there seem to be problem. Yeah, so we are now under the try block, so we have to go outside this try block. Let me first of all verify all these brackets, curly braces. So cut it and paste it here, or am I going wrong somewhere? Let me see. No, it is right, that it is the part of that if, and this else was for that particular if, so we don't need to do anything. Okay, let me check where's the problem. So there is no problem, just write the catch block after two curly braces close, then it is exception. Okay, and then here you have to print that stack trace. Okay, Perfectly fine. Now speak something went wrong. If some try catch exception occurs, then that the catch block will say that something went wrong. Okay, so now I'm just checking the curly braces where it ends and where it starts. Okay, so right now it doesn't seems to be any problem, and let me see if there is any issue then that can be cured. Okay, so now let me go outside this if and then else, then the outer one, if and then outer else is there, then catch block. This is for that. Okay, right, that if, outer if, and then okay, when you are writing a long code, then you must verify all these curly braces. And it's a big trouble when you get into it if you missed out any curly braces. Okay, so remove this extra space. You just have to count these things, that how many curly braces closed and how many curly braces opened at that time. Okay, so now that method is finished, and here we have to make another method, and what that method is, turn on Bluetooth. Okay, this is for turning on the Bluetooth. So if Bluetooth adapter is not enabled, actually I have put out that not sign at the beginning, then if it is not enabled, then you have to enable it. Okay, so this will on that Bluetooth of your device, Android device. Okay, so just speak up this text like turning on Bluetooth, and right now you have to pass out that intent. So intent Bluetooth adapter dot action request enable. Okay, and afterwards you just have to make start for result, start activity for result, and passing that intent with that request enable bt. Okay, and else it may be possible that Bluetooth is already on. Okay, so now we have to make another method for turning off that Bluetooth. So we will just copy that to turn on Bluetooth method and make small changes in it, and will do the work for turn off. So first of all, name change turn off, then is enabled, and remove this not, it will work. Okay, now make change in that this thing, remove this, and afterwards you have to write Bluetooth adapter dot disable only, and alt enter to get this thing, and speak turning off Bluetooth, turning Bluetooth off. Okay, right, and now add permission. Okay, good, and now Bluetooth is already off. Wow, this method is for turning off the Bluetooth of the particular device.